What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails Through Daybreak 2. Last time we finished off a 4 SPG that dealt with someone we've known before. It was the quadruple agent that Lecter and Kincaid like to have a little game with. So we got that all handled out, so now we're back to gathering info, but we see Alvis here, so let's go say hi to Alvis. Alvis, what are you doing here? Elaine, nothing in particular. Can't keep depending on everyone else, and I can't allow myself to tarnish the B-rank name. B-rank. It looks like something's bothering him. Wonder what mess he's in this time. Or maybe he's too caught up in his feelings for a certain someone lately. Well, whatever it is, I have high hopes for Alvis. I wish him the best. Hahaha, right. Doesn't seem like he'll be getting over it anytime soon. Yesterday's request, I should have known better. I mean, I almost put the client and Regina in danger. Maybe I shouldn't have been promoted in the first place. Regina is his love interest. Well, we don't know that he has feelings for her. But they are a good pair. Oh, is this Browning Joe? Or Joe Browning? Yeah, Joe Browning. Good to see you, man. Okay, so let's go ahead and head to Riverside to start things off. Now that all of our 4 SPGs have been knocked out. Oh, right, so we're looking into, you know, the anti-immigrant stuff. So we want to check with the church first. Anyone we know in here? Nope. Father, I've discovered another one taped to the walls of the temple. Again? What is this place coming to? It's already been torn down and disposed of. I'll go make sure there aren't any more. Is something wrong, Father Manser? If there's trouble, we'll hear you out. Depending on the issue, we can even take it on as a job. I appreciate your concern, but things aren't quite so dire. We've merely had the occasional instances of unsavory flyers being posted or even distributed around our grounds. You mean to say someone's harassing the temple? If so, you should submit a report to the guild or police, have them handle the situation. Actually, these flyers concern a specific individual rather than the temple itself. Thus, we're in no position to press charges. A targeted attack, huh? Don't suppose they're bounties for a certain phantom thief. So, who are the flyers about exactly? You might not be familiar with him, but they regard a young man named Aslan. I feel like I've heard the name somewhere before. He's an up-and-coming Z1 racer who's look at the smile on his face. Who's gaining steam lately. In the last race, he came close to... Oh, yeah, we watched that. He came close to catching Maxim, the current champion. Damn, must be a real Stuhi demon. Rumor has it this year's Grand Prix will boil down to a straight-out duel between the two. Aslan's from the Central East, and a good-looking guy to boot, so he's been a real top-trending topic. Does he have any connection to this temple? His accomplishments as an immigrant have made him something of a celebrity among those of Central Eastern descent. As such, a great deal of his admirers are part of our congregation, making this the perfect place to try and ruin his image. Yes, the flyers do nothing but besmirch his character. They claim he's a violent brute, that he has ties to the mafia. How awful. Any of that rooted in reality? There's no concrete evidence to speak of, so I don't believe it's worth putting any stock into. The man himself has visited the temple a number of times. As far as I can tell, he is as devout and sincere a youth as can be. Sure, but sometimes the goody two-shoes that have the most... It's the goody two-shoes that have the most skeletons in their closets. Even still, this is clearly nothing more than a malicious smear campaign. Perhaps the guilty party is envious of his successes. It could also be the work of an anti-immigration terrorists who can't handle a Central Easterner rising to fame. All men are equal before the winged goddess Arusha. She draws no distinction between race or ethnicity. To go against this is nothing short of deplorable. The door opened. I know it's just a wandering NPC, but it's still funny. If those flyers continue to appear, it may constitute a disturbance to the temple. In which case, you would be eligible to file a complaint with the guild, despite not being the victim of defamation. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us if the need arises. I can only pray it doesn't. Nevertheless, we will keep your kind offer in mind. Well, I guess that handles our problem here in, Riverside. Let's go to Station Street. Who are we meeting up with? Oh, right, the guy, the anti-immigrant guy who's usually flailing about. But we're gonna have to talk to the cop this time. Haven't seen that guy's mug in a while. Not that I'm complaining less of his anti-immigration activism, the better. Still, I do wonder about him. Must be a real piece of work. You on the lookout for someone? Maybe we can give you a hand. No need to concern yourselves. I wouldn't exactly call it a problem anyhow. See, this anti-immigration protester who often comes to demonstrate here hasn't been around lately. Tell us more about this protester. The man's name is Jacobin. He's a wily sort, the kind who will leap at the chance to shove his radical rhetoric down your throat. We've cracked down on it time and time again, but it never did much to discourage him. But now he isn't showing up at all. You don't suppose that means he's finally had a change of heart? Well, whatever the case, just take care not to get suckered in by any screwball solicitors. Yeah, I can't imagine he gave up. That guy was a jerk. Jacobin, he was the one that wrote that threatening letter in Arashian. And apparently he went back to his old ways without missing a beat right after. The guy's anti-immigration sentiments ran deep. If he's gone cold turkey, that raises a few eyebrows. Maybe he just changed locations? Could be. We'll keep an eye out. Alright, well that didn't... The church told us more than that did. All we learned here is that Jacobin hasn't been showing up to where he usually protests. I mean, we saw that in Arashian, how anti-immigrant he was. And he wasn't just anti-immigrant, he's just racist. He was just anti-anyone who isn't like a true Calvardian. Which a lot of people in Arashian were like that. I mean, Elaine's father, unfortunately, was kind of like that as well. Arkwright Solutions. An A-rank bracer and a divine blade, here to sample our Eastern fare. The smell of it's so rich it takes me right back to Langport. I feel my mouth watering already. Yeah, well, keep a leash on it till lunchtime. We're just making the rounds in Edith's rumor mills while we work through our 4 SPGs. Oh, well, one juicy tidbit I have is your run-in with the Liu family yesterday. You already know about that? I do, albeit only superficially. While we're on that subject, I've been wondering what became of the Syndicate after the fact. The Liu family bigwigs are still somewhere in the capital. Same goes for Sao and his men. What they're up to is a mystery, but I do hear the Council of Elders will be making a big announcement soon. We can probably guess what that is. I anticipated a massive gambit from Sal, but it came faster than I was thinking. I'm of no mind to follow his example, but his cunning and audacity are to be admired. To be fair, it isn't as if this is all bad for the Syndicate. Maybe not, but that doesn't mean I have to whoop it up. Well, I for one look forward to what the future holds for Heiyu, and by extension the path you choose to tread. But enough about our internal affairs. I happen to have a piece of information that might interest you. The True Grievance Brigade has resumed their operations. Well, that is what we were looking into. So it's true. We heard from Elaine. She's right next to you. We'd heard from Elaine that they were on the move. Though the guild doesn't have any specifics. At any rate, their core members should all be in custody now after what happened in Aramis. If that alone were enough to deter them, they would have disbanded ages ago. I don't know who's currently leading their ranks, but they seem to be more zealous than ever. And I thought cockroaches were hard to stomp out. Easterners like us may be on their blacklist, but I doubt they're foolhardy enough to raise a hand against Heyu. So yeah, that's where the big difference here is obviously, normal Easterners, they have Heyu behind them, whereas the Central Easterners don't really have a syndicate that's like stops them from being spoken out against. But yeah. So as long as they don't act against us, we'll extend the same courtesy to them. The rest of you aren't off their radars either, so you may want to watch your backs. Point taken. Thank you for the warning. Whoop, someone's calling. Well, if it ain't the champion himself.
裏解決屋の諸君、最近は直接会う機会もなくて、君たちもさぞや寂しかったことだろう。
Yeah, I'm hanging up. Hold on a second. The least you can do is hear me out. I'll just get to the point. There's something important I wanted to ask of you guys. Really now, on the same day as the big race, doesn't seem like a coincidence. You can put it that way, but I'd rather we go over the nitty-gritty in person. If now's a bad time, though, I won't push my luck. The Z1 relay a request, guess there's a chance it's connected to those terrorists. Actually, I think we can work you in. Is that right? Glad to hear it. Let's meet at 10:30 then. I'll be waiting at the Orbital Cafe in front of the station. See you on the flip side. Alright, we haven't seen Maxim in a while. What do you think Maxim wants from us? He got all tense out of nowhere halfway through the call. Maybe there's trouble brewing over at the Grand Prix? I don't know any better than you, but whatever it is, has my nose twitching. Alright, well... Oh, right! Movie theater. I want to remember that before I forget. Sure. You cannot bring Shizuna to this movie. Alright, Elaine and Reset, sure. Helena, a third year at a prestigious all-girls school. Oh wait, why am I reading this? Just out of habit. Alright, let's let it play. This music is amazing, though. Oh, Nina.
長続きしないわ。ここではありがちな女の子の気まぐれね。それに後ろ指を刺されることだって聞いたことぐらいあるでしょ。そういう話。
それくらい私だってわかります。けど、
あら、まさか日記の相手こそ自分の思い描いた運命の人だとでも思っているの？乙女なことね。ロマンチックで大変結構だけれども、そろそろ大人になりなさい、シェリ
ー。やっぱりそれが先輩の優しさなんですね。私が傷つかないようにあえて突っぱねる。
何を言い出すの？話を聞いていなかったのかしら？
優しい言葉で私を包み込んでくれる日記の人。一体どんな女性なんだろうって考えていた時でした。見て、 しまったんです。秘密の隠し場所に日記を戻すヘレナ先輩の姿を。
気づいていたのね。でもあなたが思いを寄せたのは日記の中の絵空ごと。厳しい委員長ではないわ。
いいえ、いつも厳しさで優しさを覆い隠している、そんな恥ずかしがり屋さんのことですよ。この気持ち、どんな言葉で書き記せばいいんでしょう。教えてください、ヘレナ先輩。
その必要はないわ、シェリー。だってもう刻まれてしまったから。
Pretty solid movie with a love story. I wonder if there is such a thing as a soulmate. Now there's something I never thought I'd hear from, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You've helped me out so much that sometimes I forget you're still only 20. I understand, please don't worry about it. It's just the last time I felt both the joys and pains of falling in love was several years ago. Oh? To yearn for someone and feel it so intensely. Mirabelle once told me love obscures all reason. Okay, I think I can get away with saying I never thought I did Mirabelle would say something like that. Several years ago, could it possibly have been when she first got contracted to Van? As I understand it, Casablanca is the language of flowers, means noble, genuine, and great love. How fitting. It's like the flower was meant for Helena and Sherry. Easy to see why they put it in the title. They even plastered the flower on the poster. The large, pure white blooms really bring out the best in the art. The undertones are quite lovely. It gives Nina an almost ethereal look to her. I can understand why they use them in wedding bouquets and why people love to receive them as gifts. Just remember that the color can change the flower's meaning. Do keep that in mind if you ever plan on gifting them to anyone. Yeah, will do. How is she expecting me to respond here? Hey, if you're gonna give me a gift, make sure you get the right flower for the right meaning. Alright, well, we took care of that. I don't think we can watch another one, not like we would need to. Alright, right, so I want to check the shops. Wouldn't hurt to. The shops on these several days that we spend in Act 3 are always going to have the same stuff, so once we've gotten them, it won't matter to get them again. What? What's a Kanafa? I don't know what that is. Regardless. You know what? Let's go here. I don't think we've ever shopped at the patisserie. So it wouldn't hurt to run over here. Oh, hey, Toa. Who's Toa meeting with? Oh, just other teachers. We'll say hi to Toa on the way out. Again, thank you for grading all those tests, you two. Of course, Miss Leifa. Oh, by the way, I wanted to apologize for being unable to attend that party yesterday. It It was no bother, Toa. It turned into a bit of a girls' gossip party at the end anyway, so you really didn't miss much. Although I wouldn't be opposed to hearing more on Miss Sonia's marriage search. What do you say? You're right, that does sound quite interesting. Well, you see, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. Oh yeah, this political debate is happening tomorrow, isn't it? Let's talk about that instead. You know, I actually did want to hear your thoughts on the matter, Miss Toa. Why don't we leave that for a later time? I'm still curious what else Miss Sonia has to share. Huh, don't think I've ever seen that black-haired teacher before. The female teachers of Aramis, I'm sure they must be a hoot. Well, you're not wrong. I'd like to put aside the topic of marriage for a moment, so... Oh, today's my cheat day, actually. That means I get to chow down all the sweets I can stomach. Well, I'd certainly like to join you. Don't get a stomach ache. Well, nothing super interesting. Are we even allowed to go back on campus? I'm curious. Nope. Although we know the guard will let us in at any time because him and Van are buddies. I'm sure Van was always running late. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and meet Maxim. Oh, with Kincaid.
来てくれたか。時間ちょうどか。定常を抜きにすると顔を合わせるのは一月ぶりだな、バン。
Has it been that long already? It doesn't feel like it the way you've been helping my assistants. It'll take a while to stab, though, and say you ain't just here to catch up. I'll explain that more to you in a bit. But first, sit down and take a load off. Thank you for placing an order for us, so I do feel a bit guilty about letting you pay. Yeah, no need to put yourself up out on our account. Just think of it as a reward for all the times you were there for me. Don't mind if I do, then. Let's start with what Rune's doing here. Not that I don't already have an idea. Right, I won't beat around the bush. Long story short, today's Grand Prix is being targeted by immigration terrorists. For real? Wait, am I the only one who's surprised by that? Well, all the signs so far were sort of pointing to it. First off, we came knowing that leftover anti-immigration terrorists were still kicking about. Then we got the Z1 Grand Prix Finals, which immigrants are gonna turn up in droves to see. Add to that the involvement of a CID analyst, and the rest is self-explanatory. I see what you mean now. Plus, one of the favorites in today's race is Aslan, who comes from the Central East. It only makes sense that the terrorists would have set their sights on him. You're absolutely correct. Even despite the existence of Red Star, racers in the past were exclusively of white descent. But in recent years, the number of Eastern and Central Eastern racers has grown to the point where they're no longer an exception. Among them, a star hope for the Central Easterners was born in the form of Aslan. Nowadays, there are quite a few people who view the Z1 races as a symbol of ethnic integration. I can definitely feel it going in that direction. But of course, anti-immigration terrorists wouldn't take much fancy to that. So they've demanded that the race's organizers call off the Z1 Grand Prix altogether. And by they, I mean the True Grievance Brigade. From what I hear, they're also demanding the police release their fellow members who were caught hiding in Aramis. I see, so the remnants really are still active. It's just as we suspected. They'll stop at nothing to achieve their goals, but of course you won't give in to their demands, right? That goes without saying. The Grand Prix organizers haven't even considered suspending the event. And naturally, the CID plans to do everything in its power to address the situation. To start, we'll be establishing a strict watch-in and around the circuit venue as precautionary measure. However, these radicals have little left to lose. The more we tighten the screws, the likelier it gets that they'll involve innocent people. You certainly can't be too careful given the decent number of members purported to be at large. So it's a bit of added insurance. You want to enlist the aid of Arkwright Solutions, which at this particular moment means you get Elaine as part of the package. Classic Rune, the Pampered Prince never misses a trick. Enough with the Pampered Prince bit, and it's Mr. Kincaid to you. But yes, as you surmise, the CID would like to once again issue an official for SPG. Your task is to flush out and apprehend the terrorists. Your assigned area will be the Speedway's interior. In the meantime, my men and I will handle the perimeter. Sounds like a plan. By the way, I'll be acting as a liaison between you and the event management. So if anything you need to pass on, just give me a call. Understood. Right then, I'd better head out. Got a few things to take care of before the race. Sure thing, catch you later. The True Grievance Brigade. It didn't seem as if they were tied to any other forces back at Aramis either. But there's a definite chance that someone will capitalize on their schemes just like before. Hey, as long as they put up a decent fight. Speak for yourself, I'd rather they call it quits. Anyway, let's scarf down some lunch and get to investigating. Alright, 11:32 a.m. Still early in the day. It stopped snowing. So it has, though it's still a little overcast. The Grand Circuit, Edith's 12th District. I remember looking around here with Van during the Revolution Festival. Oh, right, we did do that. Yeah, you were sightseeing like no one's business. This is my... No one's gonna question that Van and Shizuno were palling around? Alright. Wait, what's that? Oh, you mean the Ferris wheel. It's an attraction in which one rides a gondola attached to a rotating rim, allowing them to take in the surrounding views. Cool, is it like taking the Aerotram in Basel? It doesn't feel quite the same, but there's definitely a resemblance visually. May not know it, but this place also has one of the most up-to-date bouldering facilities out there. There are some who make a hobby out of scaling rock formations with just their bare hands. Bouldering imitates that in a safe environment for people to enjoy, right? Someone's been reading up. I tried it out once on my days off, and let me tell you, it really gets your blood pumping. Oh yeah? Color me intrigued. Unlike the Ferris wheel, this is the kind of thing you have fun with solo. I get where y'all are coming from, but now ain't the time to be fooling around. Come on, let's get to the perimeter before we head... Let's check the perimeter before we head into the Speedway.
今日はビアガーデンの方も大盛況ね。そうね。ってあそこにいるのは。
Well, whoever she thinks she's seeing, we'll check it out in a minute. Oh, Lucio works here? I couldn't get behind the idea of wearing a dress shirt, even for work. After consulting with my manager, he permitted me to man the counter in my personal attire. As a matter of fact, doing so may actually put me more in line with this story's aesthetic. I should count myself lucky to work on someone so flexible. Wow, he's really coming along.
まあ好きにままたのお越しをな好きに見ていくがいいさまたのお越しを
Really cool to see him coming along. You know, he was really a punk even back when we saw him in Arashian last game. Oh, that's who she saw. It's her grandma, along with Victor and Paulette. Where's Yume? Where are you at, Yumes?
Nanda, お前たちも来たのか?
On business, but yeah. Forget that. What are you doing here, Grammy?
実はビクトルとは昔からの知り合いで、
Of course you do. Everyone in this arc knows each other.
私が現役時代に通ってたレストランで働いてたことがあったのさ。
ある時ドミニクさんに俺の料理をえらく気に入ってもらってな。それをきっかけにいろいろと助言をもらえるようになったわけだ。モンマルトを開店する時にも大いに力になってもらったもんだぜ。
You don't say. Never would have guessed you two had a history. It's definitely a shocker. But that's not what I meant. What are you doing here at the Grand Circuit? Or do I even need to ask? Come to think of it, I recall hearing you've offered advice to professional athletes before. Does that mean you're here to coach Z1 racers?
まあと言っても若手のレーサーくらいだけどね。ついでにレースの演出方面にも軽く口を挟ませてもらってるよ。
Judith and Van sure weren't exaggerating about her. She's a granny of all trades if I ever saw one. And yet she rarely ventures into the public eye. I see now why the rumors refer to her as a legend. Bet she could hold up in a scuffle too. Dames like her must be 1 in a million. Alright, enough feeding her ego. What I want to know is where'd Yumes get off to? Well, that's right, I don't see her around.
実はマクシムさんと一緒に観覧車に乗る約束をしていてね。そろそろ戻ってくる頃じゃないかしら。
A playdate, huh? Those two are pretty chummy now. Nothing to worry about then, right? Save for the potential terrorist situation. Let's check around the Ferris wheel just in case. May as well.
しかし観覧車か。
No!
外からよじ登るのも
No,
楽しそうだよね。
Shizuna.
とんでもねえこと言うな。絶対にやるなよ。
Oh, Shizuna. My dad used to work for a famous 3-star restaurant a long time ago. Apparently, Dominic was a big help to him back then. It's been much too long since I last saw her. She's still as busy as ever, it seems. I'll have to keep my ears open for any stories she has to share.
さてと。
Oh, more? Yume went to ride the Ferris wheel with Maxim. The race is coming up, so they promise not to take too long. I hope the two of them have fun. A quiet moment together should do them both good. I mean, she still doesn't know that Maxim is her father. The chair isn't doing well with Victor's outfit. Dominic has done much for me over the years. I'll have to treat her to another meal at our place. I'd extend that invite to Chloe, too, if she weren't so busy all the time. Even Mom? Have some mercy. The bistro is the only sanctuary I've got left. You're turning pale, Judith. What's the matter? More than we'll ever know. Just give her some space for now. I get the sense you didn't come here for a simple day at the races. But we'll just leave it at that. I've got no plans to horn in on whatever spring and business you're up to. In fact, I expect you to aim high and soar, this being your home turf. And that goes double for you, Judith. Ugh, does she always have to turn the screws on me? Clearly, she has enough trust in Van as an employer to keep Judith in line. Oh, hey, you got some Aramis students here. That's cool. Oh, there's Shino. Hello, and welcome to Shino's Park. Can I interest you in a pre-race refreshment? Damn, Shino, this is a prime location to set up. Shop, good for you. I'm not usually a fan of large events like this, but they aren't so bad on occasion. Thinking back, it's been almost a year since I first opened. I've done business in so many places since. Maybe it's time to reflect on what I've learned. Is something wrong? Oh, don't mind me. Have a wonderful time. I hope you get to enjoy it to the fullest. That's a nice sentiment, but we didn't come here to play around. Only one thing for it. Sooner you get the shit squared away, the sooner we can let our hair down. Your hair is, well, I guess not always down. Oh, look, she's got sandwiches and stuff too. That's cool. Gelato, sandwich.
どうもです。
どれどれ
Where are they? So this is the Ferris wheel. It makes you feel short from up close.
楽しかったね、おじさん。
それはよかった。
あ、ファンたちだ。
いやー、君たち、守備は順調かい？
守備？
You can relax, we'll get the job done. So Yume, how was riding the Ferris wheel with Maxim?
一番上からだとサーキットがよく見えたよ。
Wow, it must be the best seat in the
け
house.
ど、夢もっと乗ってたかったな。
楽しい時間はあっという間に過ぎるものだからね。今度また乗る機会があれば、その時は2週でも3週でも付き合うさ。
本当？約束だよ。
ああ、約束だ。
Well, that's sweet.
夢のことは僕が責任を持ってポーレットたちのところへ届けるよ。そうそう。君たちがサーキット場に入れるようにすでに手配はしておいた。受付で名前を言えば通してくれるはずだ。よろしく頼んだよ。
For sure, thanks.
みんな、それじゃあまたね。
Yeah, something's off with Maxim. Looks like Maxim is heading straight for the racetrack himself. Is something bothering you, Van? Nah, it's nothing. We're gonna want to follow his lead soon.
さて、それじゃあ掛け金を決めてと。
まったくアーロンさんは飲む、打つ、買うは禁止です。
ってお前意味分かってんのか？
ともかく仕事で来てるんだからほどほどにね。
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm questioning whether I want to, well, let's go over here and say hi to Yume real quick. Oh, hi, Van. It's almost time for the race to start. I'm so excited. Do you think Maxim's gonna win? You would imagine so. Arashi and Ale. There's a beer house, yeah, golden hour.
私もやってみようかな。
Look at all these people climbing. That lady's just stuck there. I suppose you're supposed to assume if you fall that this is gonna cushion you, but it doesn't really seem that sturdy. Alright, but I think we're gonna end things off here. So next time we're gonna talk at the ticket counter and head on inside to start investigating about this possible attack, terrorist attack at the Z1 Grand Prix. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, mark, and to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.